There are two stages in your writing career: before you have completed a book-length manuscript, after you have completed a book-length manuscript. Let's focus on the first stage and break it down a little further. Before you've completed a book-length manuscript, there are three main markets for publication: literary journals or magazines, literary contests, and literary anthologies. It's natural to start thinking about getting your work out there and perhaps getting published, especially after taking a couple of fiction courses like 209 and 309. The first rule, always before considering publishing, is to write and revise your story until it's the absolute strongest story you're capable of making it. There is no point in sending out subpar work. To be honest, the world is plagued with it. Now, how and where do you find these three markets? Google, my friends, is your friend. Keyword search for literary magazines in Canada, the US, and beyond. You'll soon find dozens, if not hundreds, of outlets of lit mags that you can submit to. Once you've done that, you'll want to take the time to read some of the material the magazine publishes to see if it's a fit for your writing. If you're writing a Western or a mystery thriller, a magazine like the Creative Writing Program's own internationally renowned magazine, Prism, is not likely to publish your work. Their focus is almost solely literary writing. It's good practice to keep an updated spreadsheet of all the magazines you've researched and include information like submission dates, word counts, genre, etc. And when you start submitting, track your stories. Since most literary journals publish quarterly and are run by a university, an arts organization, or council, they receive Canada Council funding to publish new writers and are always looking for new talent. These magazines must publish 4 issues per year, so they're always on the hunt for great work. Having worked at a literary magazine, we can tell you it is incredibly difficult to find great high-quality work. Because most people submit work that is not of publishable quality or that doesn't match the tone or editorial slant of the magazine, their stories aren't accepted. So if you'd like to submit to these magazines, the first thing you need to do is get familiar with them. Read them, read the content. After you spend time reviewing the writing and find a magazine, or several, that publishes the type of fiction you're writing, look at their submissions link. Here you'll find the key relevant information on how to prepare your manuscript and submit your work. Note that each magazine has their own requirements. You won't be able to take a blanket approach to them all. Do the research and understand what that particular magazine requires before you submit. It's a basic expectation by the editors of these journals to do the research and submit clean, high-quality work and meet the submission requirements. If they ask for stories up to 2,000 words, don't send your 5,000-word story. They won't read it, regardless of how brilliant you believe it is. You might also come across writing contests. These can be another great way to get your work out there. What's great about contests is that you might win, you never know. You'll get a free subscription to the magazine with your entry fee, and they have deadlines, which many of us need to aim for in completing work. The fourth great thing about submitting your work to a contest is that your story is read by at least 2 different readers, rather than 1 at a literary journal. And while you won't receive feedback on your submission, yours and everyone else's story is given serious consideration by multiple readers. There are often open calls for submissions intended to be part of an anthology. The anthology is generally themed. For instance, there might be a call for stories that deal with an environmental disaster, or maybe love and marriage. There might be a call for zombie stories, or stories about young protagonists. Again, submit your best work and make sure that it fits the theme of the anthology. In other words, don't send your romance set in the 1800s to a call for steampunk fiction.